Alright, here we go with the new rhythm. So, this is where stuff might start getting a bit tricky. And we have two strumming patterns this time. Just two. It might look like we have four, but it's just two. So, here we have the easy way, I feel that that's the easy way of reading this. So, when you look at this, we compare these two. We have quarter note, eighth note, eighth note. Here we have an eighth note tied to another eighth note. And two eighth notes is one quarter note long. Excuse me. Damn allergies. So yeah, eighth note tied to an eighth note, two eighth notes long. That's how long a quarter note is. And here we got the eighth note again, eighth note, quarter note, quarter note. So here we can easily see, or at least more easily see, besides that just being all of beat one, you see there is the downbeat of 2, upbeat of 2, which is tied to the downbeat of 3. Here is the upbeat of 3, downbeat of 4. So we are not playing on the downbeat of 3. So that's what's happening for both of these. So we need to keep that strumming hand in just the constant down up motion the whole time. Every time it is a downbeat, we are going to strum down. Every time it is an upbeat, we are going to strum up. So for the first half, we're going to be going down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, and so on. Count is going to be 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Definitely important. Count along with this stuff. Say it out loud, say it out loud. Super, super important. If you don't do it, you're only going to make things much more difficult in the long run, and it might actually prevent certain things from being played. So, gotta say it. Gotta say it. Alright. So, the next thing, similar idea, but here we are going to not strum anything on the downbeat of 2. Same idea as up above. We have an eighth note tied to an eighth note. But just up here, we were not strumming anything on the downbeat of 3. Here, it's the downbeat of 2 that we're not going to play on. So, here, all of this, same rhythm pattern or strumming pattern as this line. So, all of that is one strumming pattern. All of this is the other strumming pattern. So, eighth note, eighth note. The eighth note tied to an eighth note is once again one quarter note long. Eighth note, two quarter notes, two quarter notes. So we can see that's on the downbeat of 1, upbeat of 1, which is tied to the downbeat of 2. Upbeat of 2, downbeat of 3, downbeat of 4. So we have the strumming pattern is down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. The count is 1 and 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. Okay. So definitely a good idea. Count along with me here. Even if you're not strumming anything, just count along so you can practice getting that rhythm down. Because if you can't get this rhythm down by saying it, the chances of you actually strumming it right, very small. Because if you can't say it, you can't play it. Here we go. Try it at 60 first. And again, you can set this at whatever tempo you want, whatever's comfortable for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 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 4, 1, and 3, 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 4. So that might be a new chord shape for you. This guy right here. So basically, it's like a power chord, but it's a little bit bigger of a stretch. Now, if it was out of context, you could look at this as like, there's your root note, and then there's a sharp 5. So I think you said you understand intervals. So yeah, basically you take the 5th chord, and then you sharpen that 5th interval. So basically like an augmented 5th chord. But technically speaking, there is no sharp 5 that occurs anywhere in a major key or minor key. Now, even though it looked, so that's why I said out of context. So if it was just these two notes sitting here, you could definitely say that's a 1 and a sharp 5. But it's also a flat 6. So like if you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then flat it, versus going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sharpening it, you get the same result in terms of the two different sounds. So I'm calling this G, no 5, over B. So a little bit of theory on that guy. So what it's saying is you have a G major chord that doesn't have the 5th interval. So G major chord, you use a G major scale to figure it out. The 1st, 3rd, and 5th note in the G major scale is what gives you a G major chord. So G is the 1. The 3rd note in is a B. So B is the 3rd interval. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D is the 5th note in, or 5th interval. So G, B, and D. So I'm going to move this up to here. So the chord says G, no 5. Okay, so all you got to do is not play the 5th interval. So now you got yourself a G, no 5. But the chord name also says it's a G major without a 5th interval over a B note. So B is the 3rd interval of a G major chord, or just G in general. So what this chord is doing is it takes that 3rd interval and moves it down an octave. So this is basically an inversion. Sort of like it's going in a, well, with inversions you usually got like 3 different notes. Basically we just kind of like flipped it around here. Now, I'm not going to get too much into inversions right now. But basically, it just, we'll say this, it like inverted the chord, it flipped it. So instead of it going root note and then the 3rd, we're doing the 3rd and then the root note. So that's why it's called that. Because you're basically playing a G major without the 5th interval, but we're playing that 3rd interval an octave lower. Gives it an interesting sound. So That being said, let's play this at the 100 that the file is currently at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 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 4, 1 and 3, 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 4. Ooh, man. It's a nice convenient time to yawn. Whoops. Alright, and faster speed just in case you want to get up to it. Let's do 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4. So, I started doing something right after we talked about going into music theory stuff. And I'm doing this with a few people, and I like how it's going. So I want to try this with you, and I think this is good that I just started doing this thing when it comes to the scales. Hang on, I gotta pull something up. I sent it over to you. Let me open this with Paint. Okay. So, with the scales that you did play, you played A Ionian and then B Dorian. And I would say that's fine. However, what you were given was the key of C, so you were supposed to start it on the 8th fret. So memorizing the natural notes of the fretboard. So we don't want to work in the key of A major yet. So the scales that you played were fine if it was out of context and just playing it for the sake of playing it. Now that I'm saying that I actually sent over I think I did. Let me just make sure I actually sent it to you. Apparently, well, since I'm forgetting things all the dang time, hopefully I'm not opening my mouth and saying something stupid right now. Okay, so if I look at the attachments I've given you on that last one, where is it? Okay, there it is. Yeah. Nope, that is key C. So starting on the 8th fret, not the 5th. So yeah, we want to, memorizing stuff like that is important, like where it's given. So this way, because I want you to learn the natural notes, the layout of the natural notes, not just the shapes themselves. That being said, let me get over here to this, sharing the entire display. There. Yes, the pentatonic. Because I have an idea, a big idea, on how this stuff is going to come together. So, this is in the key of A minor still. Or you could say it's in the key of C major still. And both are true. Because they are relative to one another. So that being said, the only two notes that are missing to make this a full A minor scale are B and F. So we're going to be adding those back in eventually. So this is put together just to make it easier to see how all these shapes are laid out. And you may already know this, but basically, in case you didn't, yeah, if you get rid of the first note on each string here and the last note each string here, you're left with the same thing. So they're all connected, just like the 3 notes per string stuff. So going further down, I also have it set up so all these red dots make it easier to see one shape at a time. Because we have 20 frets on this fretboard, we can see shape number 1 played in a low and high octave. So that's why it's up there twice. And then there's shape number 2 within all the notes that make that A minor pentatonic, also known as the C major pentatonic. Shape number 3, shape number 4 in the open position as well as the higher octave, and then shape number 5 in 2 places, low octave and high octave. So yes, it says here A minor pentatonic and C major pentatonic. So when people are talking minor pentatonic, sure you've played this already many times. If not, that's okay. You're gonna play it. You will have it down for sure. But yeah, that's what people think, or we're talking about when they say minor pentatonic. And then this is actually the major pentatonic. And so why is it the major? Well, it really comes down to this. Like, so the minor, from the first note to the second note, that's a step and a half. That's a minor third distance. So that's that interval stuff that you said you know some things about. So C to E, that's 2 whole steps. That's a major third distance. So if this E was down here, we can see that goes 1, 2 whole steps up. So this is really like based off the Ionian mode. It just cuts out a couple of notes. And this here is based off the Aeolian mode, cuts out a couple of notes. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to get this memorized, the pentatonic stuff memorized, but at the same time, we're going to do some musical stuff with it as well. So I was also thinking about how you said you don't, what was it, something like you don't know how to basically solo on top of stuff and make it sound pleasing. This hopefully will help. So in addition to getting the scales memorized, we're just going to do one at a time, because I really want to make sure you get it all. And there's also chords involved with this too. So we're getting a little bit of chord work along with the scale work. So right now I got this set up so you're just seeing the 3 different guitar parts you're going to learn. And this is set at 60 beats per minute, but you can set it to whatever tempo you want, anything that you want. But I want you to get the lead line memorized. You get that memorized, you definitely have that pentatonic shape memorized. So we got some hammer-ons and pull-offs going on here. So in addition to playing that, and in the video, yes, just play along with Guitar Pro and play the lead part. And then you're also going to play the clean chords that happen, as well as the power chords that happen. So let's go over that one at a time here. All right, so the lead, I do this with a metronome, but your Guitar Pro file has drums and bass. So this way you can follow along or play along with Guitar Pro, basically like a little song. And we're going to continue to add to this. So as we add one shape at a time, we'll just keep expanding on this thing. And this is not the most simple pattern of playing that A minor pentatonic. So, like if I end up giving you something that's like too difficult, definitely tell me. I'll scale it back a little bit. If it ends up being like really easy, I can try and play, put something together a little more fancy. Just want it to be at a good skill level for you. So anyway, here we go at 60, playing the lead line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 biggest thing here, not about pushing it really fast. Again, you can go faster if you want. If you feel ready for it, go ahead and do that. Like maybe go up to 80 beats per minute next and try that once you feel comfortable with this. But the biggest thing is I want you to get it memorized, because you're also like learning little patterns that can be applied to all these scale shapes and whatnot. And that's basically a lot of what you hear in guitar solos, just little patterns in the scale shapes. Yes, we got that. Now the clean chord part. Let me know if the bar chords are too painful. Like if any of these chords that I give you end up being like too much for your hands, just let me know, because I don't want you to push things too much here. So basically, I got the very common ways of playing the chord first. So we're looking at these right now. So got this bar chord because that chord is in that A minor pentatonic shape. So we're going to play that, heavy strum that twice, and then the open A minor chord, a less popular way of playing the A minor chord, and then a very unpopular way, but it's pretty neat, I think. So remember, the three notes that make an A minor chord are A, C, and E. The way we know that is by we can use the A major scale to start, and we use just those first 5 notes. So we go 1, 2, 3, flat that, so A, B, C sharp, flat that to C natural, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C sharp, D, E. E is the 5th interval. So A, C, and E, those 3 notes give us an A minor. So within this shape here, there's your A, E, A, C, E, A. So those first 5 notes, that's what this is. The A, E, A, C, and E. So this one, it also starts the same way. A, E, A, C. And then here, it goes A, C, E, A, E. So there's all kinds of ways you can play these chords. So that's kind of a neat way of doing A minor versus always doing it like that. It's still an A minor chord though. Sounds a little bit different though. Anyway, so don't worry about making these chords ring out the entire 4 beats before changing chords. Go ahead and cut the chord off a little early to get into the new place. So the big thing here is I want you to memorize this is an A minor chord. That's just a minor chord, movable bar chord shape, period. Memorize that is an A minor chord, and also that that's just a movable minor bar chord. Memorize that. I already think you know it. Memorize this A minor. Remember that this is an A minor shape, which is based off the D minor. And it's just moving that shape up. And then also, remember that's also an A minor. Less common, but it's neat. So, again, play along with Guitar Pro for all this. But I'm just going to demonstrate it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, then power chords. This is just getting familiar with the A5 in different places on the fretboard. So we're doing here, you got that A5 you played many times. And yeah, it's like using all three fingers ends up being too much, just let me know. So the next thing we do is play that chord an octave higher. So see where that pinky is? That's where we begin the next chord shape. Then we do the same idea starting from the open position. So where this note is, first finger on the G string, that's where the next chord begins. So this is what we got for the power chord stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, done. So once again, you set the difficulty of this guy. If you want to go faster than 60, go ahead. But the main thing is I want you to get that lead. Try and get the lead memorized. And then, that's all I want you to, so basically we're going to do like this. Like in your video, follow Guitar Pro, play the lead, and then play that scale. And then play along with Guitar Pro again. You can do the power chords next or the clean chords next. And then play along with Guitar Pro one last time to do either the clean or distorted chords, whatever is remaining. So, I really want to get scale stuff, a lot of the scale stuff and basic chords memorized all over the place. And then we'll get more in depth with the mode theory, which ties into all the chord theory. So I'm going to be just kind of integrating everything little piece by piece as we go. And hopefully learning stuff like this, again, like I mentioned earlier, hopefully this will help you feel more confident in doing improvisation. All right, there we go. I think that covers it all. Any questions, let me know. And I will see you again in your new videos.